Horizontal shifts are a little bit trickier than vertical shifts because we're working with x values, and x values are inside the function. So you kind of have to think in reverse, and it's a little confusing, but just remember that when you're working inside the function, you're reversing things. So let's look at this example with y equals x squared. This is our regular main function, and we're going to shift this horizontally. So if we have a constant c greater than 0, if we subtract c from x inside the function, it's going to shift to the right. And that's kind of counterintuitive because the right is in the positive direction and we're subtracting. So why is that? Same here with to the left. You're adding c to the x values to get a leftward shift, and that might be a little confusing. And the reason is because our y values are fixed, okay? They are here. These 3 points are all at the height of 0, and these 4 points are all at a height of 1, and these 4 points are all at a height of 4. So the y values are kind of fixed at 4, 1, and 0, and it's the x values that have to compensate. So when in order to square something and get a 4 out, so -2 squared is 4, but if you're putting in a 0 for x, you have to subtract 2 to get that 4 out. Get it? It's kind of the opposite. So when you're subtracting 2, you're just trying to get an x value that's going to compensate for the fact that you're subtracting 2 to get the same y value out. So that's why we subtract. So these x values are all shifted up by 2. See, you'll notice -2, instead of -2 we have 0. Instead of -1 we have 1. So these have all been shifted up by 2 to get the same output, and that's why it's x minus 2. All right, so it's a little confusing, but just remember when you're doing your shifts horizontally, you're thinking in reverse. So if we subtract 2 inside the function, notice we're inside the square there. If we're subtracting 2, it's going to take our shape of our, in this case, a parabola, and it's just going to move everything to the right by 2 units. And the shape is going to stay the same. You're just sliding it to the right because you're subtracting 2. And when you add 2 on the inside, you're going to shift to the left. So if you're adding a constant on the outside of the function, it's a vertical shift, and it's just very intuitive. +2 would be, or plus c is up, and minus c is down. But horizontally, you have to compensate. So if you shift to the right, that's going to be x minus 2 is to the right, and x plus 2, or c, is going to shift to the left.